proven and totally experimental, and we didn't want to put the future of doTERRA on the luck of a roll of the dice, right? So everything that went into what you and I have and what we enjoy today is based on proven experience. It works, right? It works. And so we moved forward and of course launched the company from there and grew from a few dozen of us to millions of us now worldwide. And what I want to talk about in the few minutes that I have, we're actually supposed to be done right now. Thanks guys. Thanks for coming. I'm just kidding. We'll go over time a little bit. Let's talk about three cool things. Three cool things that I just want to highlight for each of you. And whoever's running the slides, you just got to follow my cue, man. There you go. Okay. So we're going to talk about how the grass is not always greener on the other side. The residual powerhouse that we have in our commission plan and why you should dive into the pools. Okay. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, right? Sometimes that gets talked about. And there's always a shiny penny. Okay, there's always a new company of the month, of the year. Realize that in our profession of direct sales, there are hundreds of new startups every year. And within 2 years, less than 20% of them still survive. Okay, most of them go away because of poor funding, poor product, or poor culture, to be quite honest. And so be wary when people are like, oh, over here it's so much better and our compound's better and our product's better. And I want to just give some history here really quickly. And I want to unlock for you what some of these other plans are, just to give you a comparable. So there are three main types of commission plans out there in direct sales. There's the binary plan. So how the binary plan works, and you can see here listed a few of the companies you might recognize that use a binary plan. It's 2 legs, right? It focuses on 2 people. Compensation is based on group volume of the leg. Commissions are usually paid on the weaker leg. And if the distributor doesn't qualify, commissions return to the company. Okay, notice that bottom one. Binary plans, guys, they have some pros, but they mostly have cons. The biggest pro to me is that they're easy to explain because you got 2 legs, right? You got 2 legs. Let's go to the next slide. But the cons far, far, far outweigh the pros. They generally just pay on the week. So if I have one leg that has 100,000 in volume and I have another leg that has 20,000 in volume, I'm going to get paid 20,000 on each leg. That's typically how it works, okay? And all of that breakage, we call it, the money that doesn't get paid to us in the field, goes to the company. And so binary plans are really great for the corporation, but not really great for us, okay? The second kind of plan that's typically out there is what's called a breakaway plan. And you can see a few examples there of companies that use a breakaway plan. This is not that popular anymore for a reason that will be very obvious to you all here in a second. This is based on building groups of volume, right? Team volume. And when the leader, it's called a breakaway because when the leader breaks away or hits a certain rank or a certain volume requirement, they're still in your team, but their volume no longer counts for you. They detach, if you will, and it no longer helps to qualify you for your bonuses and commissions. And so to me, the pros, as far as a breakaway plan go, is that the payout can be potentially very large for a few distributors that are really good recruiters and really good at selling, but there's far more cons. The biggest one being, guys, is that you're not motivated. Human nature. Why would I want to go and invest time and energy and effort into helping a leader develop and grow just to have them break away and now they've basically almost become my competition, right? And so don't see a lot of these plans anymore, but they are still out there in case you come across them. And then the third main type of plan that you see out there is what's called a unilevel plan. And that's us, guys. We are a unilevel plan primarily. They're pretty simple to explain. We are paid on individual levels. Placement and structure does matter, as all of you know. There's no limit, though, and I want to emphasize that. You can go as wide as you want, and then a unilevel plan width is wealth, okay? So some of the pros and cons of a unilevel plan, it is easy to explain. It's good for all levels of distributors, full-time, part-time, sometime. There's usually supplemental bonuses. There's large payout, no limits, residual income. If there is a con, it's you can't be paid forever in depth, because that would just not work financially, right? And it's usually a slower start, right? It starts out smaller, and you all know this, being golds and platinums, that your unilevel in the beginning was nothing. It was very tiny. And I think my first unilevel check was like $10 or something like that. But as your team grows and matures, it becomes really significant. And we're going to illustrate that for you here in a second. So sometimes the grass looks greener on the other side of the fence because it's fake. Be very, very careful what you're being sold and what people are telling you. And it might actually look like this picture, where it's not alive at all. It's actually quite dead. They're just painting a pretty penny picture, right? So don't doubt where you are, okay? Let's talk about residual income and why this is so powerful. And so let me give you a couple other synonyms for residual income. This could be also called recurring income. Another one that's listed in the dictionary is passive income, which I totally disagree with, because I do not feel that our business is passive. A passive investment is when you put money in a mutual fund or you buy a stock, and then whatever happens to it, right? Who knows? It's passive. You have no direct involvement in the outcome. In your doTERRA business, you have very direct involvement in the outcome, right? But it is recurring income if you have ongoing customer purchases. And so the exact definition of residual income is money earned long after the active work has been completed. Okay, so that is true here. If you enroll a customer that purchases Life on Vitality, they buy it next month and the month after that and the month after that, you're going to generate income from that ongoing purchase, even though the active work of you enrolling that person has long been completed. And then number two is the income generated while you're no longer on the clock. Okay, same kind of idea, right? And then I gave it my own definition, number three. Number three is freedom. Without economic freedom, we ultimately lose all other freedoms. And so my mentor and good friend Art Jonak shared this quote a number of years ago. If you understood residual income, you would literally walk through a brick wall to get it. And it is that powerful. And so let's talk about the residual powerhouse that is our unilevel plan. You've all seen this. You've all participated in it because of the rank you're at. You understand the percentages, the 2, 3, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7. What I want to go old school for a second and go to the bonus calculator. Some of you might remember this. Okay. Oh, by the way, before I go to that, go back actually one slide, guys. Go back to that prior slide. Thank you. Please know that it is a massive benefit to all of us that our percentages are structured how they are. Because most companies in our space, the percentages start big and get smaller because it's sexier on paper, easier to explain, or the percentages are all the same. What a blessing this is that the percentages actually grow as you grow in depth. Because think about it, guys, no matter how successful you become in doTERRA, you're not ever going to have that many people on your front line. So the percentage on your front line really is irrelevant because you're not going to have many people there. But as the team grows in maturity and in depth, having that percentage grow, you have already observed as a gold, as a platinum, that your levels 5, 6, and 7 is where the money is, right? So aren't we grateful that that's where those 6s and 7s are and not the 2s and the 3s? Okay. Now let's go to the unilevel bonus calculator. We're going old school, big time. And I'm happy to share this file with any of you that would like it. This is just a simple Excel spreadsheet. Let's go to the next slide. That as we look at it a little bit closer, this is something Rob Young gave us right in the very beginning of doTERRA that allows us to manipulate 3 fields that you see there in yellow. And then it shows us the commission payout. It's just an example to illustrate the potential of the unilevel. So in this example, we're building 3 by 3 by 3. So now, and you all know that it doesn't happen like this, right? Because some will do more and some will do nothing. So it's an example. right? So we're going to do 3 by 3 all the way down through our 7 levels at 100 PV at 50% retention. Okay, and you can see there that the payout is a little over $10,000, right, in this example. Okay, well, what if we change the retention up to our actual retention level? Okay, you see that jump that just happened? We moved it up to 65%, and the income level jumped from about 11,000 to 14,000. Okay, putting in our actual retention rate, but let's put in our actual monthly order amount of 125 PV, which is our average monthly order size. And then look what happens again. So these are the more realistic numbers, right? Based on what's actually occurring in the company. So 17,000 a month just on the unit level alone, not including anything else, as this fills in. So does this take time? Absolutely. Absolutely takes time. But is it phenomenally powerful? Yes. Well, let's just have a little more fun with it just for entertainment purposes. We know the power of 4, right? You guys are all pursuing a 4th leg, I would hope, because you're shooting for diamonds. So what happens when we go to 4? Check that out. Okay, so we went to 4, we went back to 100 PV and only 50% retention again. And the number jumped to $73,000 a month. If you budgeted, could you live on that? I bet you could. I totally bet you could. Okay, let's have some more fun. Let's now drop our retention back to 50%. And actually, let's drop it down to 10%. Okay, let's drop it down to 10%, and then let's change our monthly PV to 50. And so horrible retention, right? We'd all go insanely crazy if we only had 10% retention. But how many legs do we need for presidential diamond? We need 6, right? So now look at what's happened, right? With 6 legs at 50 PV with only 10% retention. So 9 out of 10 people are not ordering, and still look at that income level. Okay, crazy. And then let's put the real numbers in just to see what happens, right? 125 PV and 65% retention. Boom. Wow. That's some pretty massive cash flow. This is larger than most people can grab. So I don't usually share that slide because it's kind of overwhelming. So I go back to the 3, the 100, the 50 PV. This seems to be the sweet spot that people can really get their mind around this kind of income level and this potential, right? And so, guys, this Excel spreadsheet is available to you. I'll make sure you all get access to it. It's something that we used for years and years with. It's really fun to play with because you can put in any numbers that you want and see what happens. And you can play with this just to show the potential, okay? It's so great. So we'll make that available. And let's move on to an aha moment that I had a few years ago that I want to make sure you're all aware of. This is really important. So this was like a 2x4 across the back of my head one day as I was looking at our comp plan and really studying it. If you look at our Power of 3 bonus, if you structured it perfectly, there's you and then your front 3, and they have 3. And we know that normally, often you need more than 3, but for this example, we're just using 3 by 3 by 3, right? So you could build out this structure perfectly. And again, I know that doesn't happen because some bring lots more people and some bring nobody. So again, this is an example, but you could build it with 40 people. And if everyone did 150 PV, that would be 6,000 PV to generate the $1,500 bonus. Okay, are we all on that page right there? 6,000 PV to generate that 1,500. Now, if we go to the unilevel and we look at our percentages, the 2, 3, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, and we just take the 5%. Okay, we're going to drop the 2s, 3s, and we're going to drop the 6s and 7s and just take the 5%. How much, this is a test for you math people out there, how much sales would we need to do in our team volume generating 5% commission to make $1,500? What would that be? Okay, we'll just give it to you. It's 30,000. Okay, 30,000 PV times 5%. Thanks, Audrey. Thanks, Brittany. You guys are the math winners. 30,000 times 5% is 1,500. So in both of these scenarios, you earn the same amount of money, but herein is the test, right? The test is, which would you rather focus on? Okay, which would you rather focus on, the 6,000 PV or the 30,000 PV? Okay, click to the next slide. That's the IQ test. Okay, make sure and pass it. It was an aha moment for me, and I want to share something with you that Dave Sterling has shared with us in a number of settings. In some markets around the world, building the structure bonus, the Power of Three bonus, was shied upon, was poo-pooed, was spoken against. And you need to know that we have access to the data and we can see some pretty amazing things. And the markets in the world that have neglected the Power of Three lack the stability in their lower ranks for long-term healthy growth. Even getting people to that 250 level, the 250 bonus, is enough of an income boost to carry them through until the unilevel kicks in and some of the other bonuses add up, right? It is critical, guys. Do not disregard this. Do not ignore it. At least getting people to the 250 level, and obviously the 1500 should be a goal, down the road. It takes longer, but do not disregard this. It is so critical. We have all the data, 13 years of doing this. It is really, really important. Okay, I think we've probably driven that home hard enough. Okay, now let's talk about one more area. We're gonna go swimming. Let's go swimming. Let's jump into the pools. This is an image straight from the compensation plan worksheet. What I want to highlight here is something that I think that gets missed over quite a bit, and that is picking up the extra shares, right, as you're a silver on up. So, of course, we have the empowerment pool, which all of you are able to participate in. Our premier silvers and golds. Sorry, you platinums. I wish it was that way for you too, but maybe someday. But anyway, the empowerment pool is a 1% of the company. Go ahead and click to the next slide, guys. 1% of the company that is split between premier silvers and golds that have an enrollment of at least 100 PV that month, that they're the personal enroller of. So if a premier or silver has an enrollment that month of 100 PV, they get an extra share, or they get a share of that pool. And a gold can actually get 2 shares of that pool if they have 2 enrollments. Okay, and we're splitting 1.25%. Sorry, it was going to be 1% originally, and then we changed it to 1.25. So 1.25% is shared between premier silvers and golds that have an enrollment. Okay, now what's the value of that share? Does anybody know? Anybody want to text it in? Those of you that have been hitting it recently. As I've looked over the data, it's about 250. It's different every month, right? The pools are all different every month, depending on the sales that month, right? And how many people are in the pool. So it tends to be around 225, 250 on the high end, 200 on the low end. So it kind of stays in that area. So those of you that are silver and gold, premier silver gold, and I realize we just have golds and platinums on here, you want to take advantage of that, okay? Now, moving to the next one, let's talk about the leadership performance pool. So these are all rank-based. Once you get to be silver or gold or platinum, you get to jump in these pools. If you're silver, you get 1 share. If you're gold, you get 5. If you're platinum, you get 10. The share value, so this is a 2% pool, okay? This, when you have a new elite, any month that you have a new elite, that you're the enroller, you get an extra share of this pool, okay? Which typically runs about $150, okay? So that's a nice little boost there for developing a new elite. And then let's go to the diamond performance pools. This is 1% that all of our diamonds share. So this is what you're aspiring to. And this starts to get a little more exciting because diamonds get 1 share, blues get 2, and presidentials get 3. But any month that you have a new premier, so any month that you have someone you've enrolled that hits premier for the first time, then you're going to get an extra share of that pool. And so that is about $1,200 per month. Okay, or per share, sorry, $1,200 per share. So if you're a diamond and you have a new premier that hits, you basically double your bonus, right? Because you normally get $1,200 anyway. Now you're gonna get $2,400 from hitting a new premier. So there's a lot of incentive. I love this about our pool program. There's so much incentive built in to help support our team members to be able to advance, right? And then if we go to the diamond pools, the diamond, blue, and presidential pool, this is what these ones really add up fast, because as a diamond, normally you get 3 shares of that pool, of that 1% pool, just for being a diamond, right? And if you have a new premier in that month for hitting for the first time, then you get an extra share, and that is ranging right around $1,000, okay, plus or minus. So as a diamond, that's pretty sweet incentive to have a new premier, right? You get about $1,000. If you're a blue diamond and you have a new premier, okay, their share value is around $3,000. So as a blue diamond, it's a good idea to be in the build premier business, right? Build premier business, because each time you have someone new hit premier, you're going to make an extra 3,000-ish, somewhere in there, right? And for the presidential pool, this one's a little different. It's new silvers. Okay, if you have a new first-time silver hit, then you get an extra share of the presidential pool, which is about 10 grand. Okay, plus or minus depending on the month. It's about $10,000, and so there is a lot of money, guys, in these pools for the extra shares, right? And those are all won by having some of the people you've enrolled rank advance for the first time, whether it's elite, premier, or silver for presidential diamonds. So I wanted to bring that up and illustrate it, because there is so much potential there for winning in the margins, is what I call it, because it's the extra things, and the extra things all add up. Okay, so we've talked about the 3 cool things, right? The grass is not greener, right? On the other side, avoid the shiny pennies. The powerhouse of our residual plan, of our unilevel plan, is amazing. And dive in the pools and swim with us. Okay, dive in the pools and swim with us. It is it's worth it. Okay, it is so worth it. And ultimately, guys, you'll discover as your income increases, you will learn more and more that the most valuable thing in your business is actually not your income. It's your time. It's your time. It's time freedom. It's being able to have the flexibility to do and be where you want to be when you want to be there. And that, my friends, is the ultimate reward for doing what we do. So keep going, keep moving forward. Amazing things are in store. Oh my gosh. Oh, amazing, amazing. So many crazy, amazing things coming tomorrow and throughout the coming months. And so it's going to be an awesome journey. Encourage everyone you know and your team to be with us on that journey, obviously, but most importantly, to not be on the sidelines watching it happen, but to be with us making it happen. So enjoy the table chats, guys. Peace out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jastin.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of our presenters who